So hello everybody, this is Tom, and today I have a very special guest. So we have Lennon Rook, who is the creator of the very, very awesome queer comic Faroff. Thank you for being here. Yay!
Yay! Thank
Yay!
you for having me.
Yay! So first of all, I wanted to ask, what are your pronouns?
Oh, she, her is fine. I
She,
also
her.
go, yep, that's fine. They, them too, but she, her is fine.
Okay, so first, would you tell us some of your background as an artist? Like, for example, like when did you start drawing, or when did you decide to draw comics, or how did you decide to start sharing those with the world on this wonderful place we call the internet?
Oh man, this is a long story.
That's
So,
fine.
okay, so I actually started in animation.
Oh,
I'm
cool.
still in animation. So when I was in high school, I liked to draw a lot, like a lot of people who start in art. And I did like lots of arts classes, and I decided I wanted to go to school to be an animator. Well, I did, but I'm from like the eastern side of the US. That's where I am from.
Oh,
So there were really no animation schools that I knew about. So I just ended up going to a program for graphic design because at the time I was like, oh, that's gonna be similar, right? It's not similar. Don't do that. It's nothing like that. But so I went for 2 years for graphic design. I didn't like it,
mm,
but I learned a lot about like composition and color and things like that. And I eventually found a school that did specifically animation. So I left and I went to a 4 year school for animation, and I did that, and then I looked for a job for a while, and that was really hard. And eventually I ended up going to California to a convention,
mm.
and there I talked to some people and I got my first job.
Oh, nice.
And I ended up moving up to Canada,
Oh,
and I became an animator up there, and I've animated on some television shows up here. That's where I am right now currently. But the one thing about being an animator, I love it. Don't get
mm,
me wrong. Like it's animation's basically like you get to breathe life into characters, which is really
mm.
cool. And I'm a CG animator, so it's all on the computer in Maya. If people don't know what that is, it's just a program. No.
I totally know what that is, but maybe the viewers don't, so please tell us.
Yeah, so CG animation is kind of like what you see like oh like what Pixar does.
Hmm.
That's CG animation versus hand-drawn animation, which is like the classic Disney movies, which is all hand-drawn. Uh I don't know. This is like a whole subject.
Oh
But
no, it's very interesting. Please continue.
yeah, so like 2D animation is all hand-drawn frame by frame, meticulously. I just did with CG, basically in a computer, you get a puppet and you move that around.
Mm.
And it's kind of and that's what they do at like Pixar or the new Sony movies. Most of the movies now that are CG, it's just like a puppet in a computer, and they build like a world, an environment, and you move the puppet around in there. That's what I do.
Oh, cool.
Um, so I love it, don't get me wrong, but I was working in a studio for about 3 years, and I was like there was something that was I was like I don't feel fulfilled right now, and
Mm.
I don't know why. And I think it's because I wanted to tell my own stories. And the thing is, when you're working on like an animated feature or a television show, it's not yours.
Hmm.
Like the shot is yours, like the movements are yours, and that's awesome. But the story itself and the characters and the world, I'll never own it. So I
Right.
wanted to make my own version of that. I wanted to do my own thing. So I kind of was like, okay, I'm going to really buckle down and teach myself how to draw. So I did that.
Mhm.
Probably started doing that back in like 2016 or 17. I
Oh yeah.
started to just like kind of teach myself how to draw more and more. Like I drew in art school, but I never like focused on it as much as I
Hmm.
wanted to. So I just kind of focused on drawing for like 2 or 3 years.
Mm.
And at the time, I was kind of like developing ideas for what I wanted to do for a comic. I was like, oh, I don't know. What do I want to do? And I had a couple ideas before Far Off, but then I watched Good Omens. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Oh yes, I have seen it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
That show like changed my life.
Mm. Yep, yep, yep.
I watched it and I was like, oh my God, I love this. And I
Hmm.
really loved the idea of just like two characters kind of like forced to do something. They're kind of just like stuck in between like this, like, it's like heaven and hell. So they're stuck in this war. They don't really want to be. They're just kind of like, we're just kind of both doing the same job. And they kind of slowly become, I don't know if anybody who hasn't seen Good Omens, I don't want to spoil it too
Oh my
much.
God, not spoilers. No.
It's like 3 years old, but oh, the
They
second
probably
season's
know the
coming out.
basic premise as long as you don't give us any like super spoilers. Is probably fine.
Right, right, right. Second season's coming out soon too. I'm really
Yep.
excited.
Very excited
But
about that.
but I love the idea of two characters being in like a situation like a war or something like that where they're just kind of stuck in it and they kind of
Mhm.
slowly become friends over time. And I was like, I wanted to do my own version of that.
Yes.
And that is how I came up with the idea of Far Off.
Oh, okay. So did you come up with the idea for Far Off before you made your Spectre comic, which I have also read, which is also excellent and people
Oh,
should
thank
definitely
you.
look at.
I did. Far Off is older.
Wow,
Um,
okay.
I actually came up with the idea of Far Off in like 2018, something like that.
Oh, great.
And I wrote like that was my first attempt at writing anything like long form,
Mm.
which is really not what you should do. Honestly, I if I could do it again, I'd flip-flop it and I'd do a short story for which is kind of what ended up happening, but I kind of was like, okay, I'm gonna try r- making this. And Far Off is gone through so many different versions since 2018, I can't even tell you. I have I have a friend who's also a writer who has been very patient with me and beta reads my stuff and it's been so nice. But
That's important having that beta reader friend.
yeah, but eventually I came up with a version. I was like, okay, I like this.
Hmm.
And I started making it in the end of 2019. And then in 2020, the pandemic hit
Right.
and also the short story contest was announced at like the exact same time. It was like
Ah.
almost exact. And I was like, well, I'm not going anywhere. And I have a lot of time, so I
Mhm.
might as well just enter this competition. Um, so I was like, okay, I'll take Far Off and I'll just put it on the side, and I will focus on like a really short 5 episode story that will kind of like be a crash course into comics for me because I had never published a comic before this. I really didn't know how to do it. I've
Mm.
never used the Webtoons website. Like I read a few Webtoons, but I never actually like published anything.
Mhm.
So I did that. I came up with the script really fast. And then I just kind of like produced Spectre just for two
Just
months. I just like
vomited it up. Okay.
I did, and it was like really fast and dirty and I learned a lot and I'm
Mm.
really 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 proud of that comic. I look at it now and I'm like, oh, the art's older, but like I still really like it. I think it turned out really nice.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's a great comic. Yeah.
Thank you. And I'm glad I did that. And
Mm.
after doing that like short comic, I was kind of like way more confident. First of all, it got me like to know people in the community of Webtoon because getting to know other creators is like super important.
Mm.
And after that, I was able to sort of like I had like a very tiny audience and I was kind of able to promote Far Off through Spectre a little bit.
Oh yeah.
So I took another like couple of months. I built a very small buffer uh for Far Off, and then the March of 2021, I think, is when I released Far Off, the first episode. And
Oh,
I'm glad I
okay.
did that. Yeah.
I am
And
also
then
glad you did that.
and it's been a year and a half, and I'm still going. So there we go.
Yeah. So do you have the whole story essentially written and you're just drawing like what happens or how is that process?
Oh man. Yes and no. So
I
so yeah,
see.
I have the story written. Like I know where it's going. I
Mm.
know how I want it to end. But because I wrote it so long ago,
Mm.
and because comics just by nature are slow,
Uh-huh.
I find myself like taking things out and putting things in and kind of like reworking it for comics
Hmm.
just because it is my first, well, it's my second comic, but this is like my first long form comic. So
Hmm.
there's probably a lot less messy way to do it than I do it. But like I have a plan, but I also am willing to like bend things around and move things around. I've already done it.
Mm.
Because the way stuff looks on a page, like whenever you read like anything on a page, it just when you read it and then when you make it in a comic form, they're the length is just totally different. Like you
Hmm.
just don't know how it's going to play out. Like you may have like a page of dialogue and you're like, okay, this is going to take me this many panels. And then you do it and it takes you like 3 episodes,
Aha.
or it only takes you like a very small amount. You just don't really know until you plan it out. So that's what I mean. I find myself like
Mm.
pulling things out and putting things in and mushing stuff around, and it's kind of a mess, but it's also kind of fun at the same time.
Yeah, and I
So
mean it sounds a little more organic that way rather than like forcing yourself to follow the plan, letting it kind
exactly.
of do what it wants to do.
Yes, exactly.
Mm.
I actually enjoy that part of the process. I think it's kind of fun. It kind of keeps things interesting because you're like, oh, I don't really know where this is going, but I do, but I don't. It's
Yeah, I
the
mean,
characters kind of tell me as I'm writing it. I'm like, oh no, actually, Fen wouldn't do this.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, well, that's awesome. Yeah, so oh, I remember. I was gonna ask you, so about how long does it take you to make like one? Oh, don't mind the cat butt in the
Oh
background.
my God,
Um,
sorry.
how long does it take you to make like one episode generally?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay.
About
So it
two
is
weeks.
like, okay.
It used to be a lot longer.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of have gotten faster over time as I've kind of streamlined it. I mean, when I made Spectre,
Mm.
I was really like pushing it because I was doing like 80 to 90 panel episodes in two
Oh,
weeks, and that was rough. But now
wow.
that was rough. But now I'm just doing something more reasonable, which is like 20, 25 panels every 2 weeks, which for me
Mm.
is better because
Yeah,
I'm not, I'm not getting paid for it. I'm kind of doing it in my own free time. So
right.
I kind of want to take it slow and kind of make it nice and up to my standards. So
Yeah.
it's been it's been about a good. I may I may end up taking a little bit of a holiday break just to kind of build up a buffer.
That's probably a good idea. Yeah.
Just a small,
Always good
just
to
a
have a buffer.
tiny one.
Okay.
But I promise it won't be that long. It would only be like 2 weeks.
I was gonna ask you about your inspiration and like things that kind of are the inspiration for Far Off, but you said kind of Good Omens
Good
was your
Omens
big inspiration.
was the big one, yeah. But
Mm.
I mean, like inspiration, I'm inspired by just like cartoons in general, just because
Mm.
I'm like I told you, I'm an animator, so I watch like nothing but cartoons.
Yeah, so what are some of your favorites or cartoons that have influenced you or that you really admire?
Oh my God. So many.
I mean,
I mean, like recently I watched I can only go with like recent stuff. I watched Amphibia, which was really, really good.
mm,
Um Gravity Falls was really good.
yes.
But I mean I watched a lot of the old cartoons growing up. Like I really like things like Hey Arnold. I'm
Mm,
I'm a
good
90s
one.
I'm a 90s kid, so
I
I
am
watched a
also.
lot of yeah, yeah. So I watched like, lots of stuff that was on Nickelodeon. I
Mhm.
watched all the stuff that was on Cartoon Network, which was like Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Laboratory,
Yep,
Ed, and Eddie, things like that, I
classics.
watched yeah, I watched all of Steven Universe. I've seen them. I've seen them all.
All right. Well, I mean, that's good if you're an animator to have watched like animated things. So,
Yeah, and I also have a love for like older. I guess it's kind of obvious with like a lot of like I kind of go back to like the 1920s, 1930s, or
mm,
before then. I kind of like that. I just like the era of that
yeah.
time period. I like the clothing, but I also like the cartoons around then too are kind of wacky crazy. Like I like the
Mhm.
really beginning like Disney stuff, and there was a studio called the Flesher Studios, and they did like
Oh,
Popeye and things like that.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, I like all those old cartoons. I think that they're kind of fun and wacky. And if you haven't noticed, I like really wacky poses and things like that. I kind of feel like I push it into my stuff. So yeah, that's
They work very well, especially for Fen. He has a lot of wacky poses that work very well.
thank you. He's very emotional.
Yeah, so I did want to ask you between the characters Fen and Toby and Miss Sophia Mittens, which one do you think you are the most like? Because I'm definitely more of a Fen. How about you?
I'm kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm like a mix of both of them because they're kind of
Hmm.
like two sides of me. So like
Ha.
Fen is like the anxious side of me,
Mhm.
and Toby's kind of like when I'm just like, I don't care.
Yeah, he
And I
does have
kind of
that
yeah,
innate sense of like I don't give a fuck. So
yeah, yeah, and they both kind of have like traits that I have, but if I had to pick one or the other, it would definitely be Fen.
definitely be Fen. Okay.
Yeah, because he's like an anxious ball of anxiety, and I was like, I feel that. I feel that
I
so much.
I relate to that very much as well. So, okay. All right. So then let's also talk a little bit about queer stuff.
It's weird. I didn't read any BL comics before I like
Mm.
made one, but I read tons of queer books. And that's kind of how I designed my comic around, like when I was structuring it. And then
Aha.
when I came into comics, I noticed a lot of people were labeling it BL, and I said, oh, I guess that's kind of the label for it for comics. So,
Mm-hmm.
but like, when you're searching for books like on Amazon or something, it's under usually like gay romance or queer romance, or so
Right.
that's why I say it can be any of those things.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask. I was going to ask about what kind of queer media do you consume, or like what romance books have you enjoyed, or tell us
Many.
many big
I
old
read
stack.
many, many, many. Oh, I think my first introduction into like queer media was Rainbow Rowell. Rainbow Rowell, is
Oh
that how you say her
yes,
name? Yeah.
Rainbow. In fact, I have Carry On right here on
Oh,
my
I love that
bookshelf.
book. I love that book so much. Oh man,
Mhm.
that's a great one. I think my first book from hers was Fangirl, actually, where
Ah,
they
yeah,
talk about,
yeah.
yeah, I think like they were characters in Fangirl, but I read
Hmm.
that back in college, which was literally in the beginning of the 2000s. So, because I'm old, so
I
it's
we
been a
might be the
while.
same age because I was
Yeah.
also in college in the early 2000s. So.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So like I read it, I think that was like my introduction into like queer books, because I read YA, and I read like now I read adult fiction, and I read comics. Like I've read different comics on Webtoon now, and I enjoy all of them. I just
Mm.
read I try to absorb a lot of media just to kind of, I guess, get better at writing and kind of like get better at storytelling in general.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah,
and I just genuinely enjoy it. So
that's awesome.
yeah.
All right. Yeah. And are there any like TV shows or movies or anything that you've seen that were also
I
good
recently
for you?
watched the Heartstopper. Um, yeah, the
We're
Netflix show was
we're big
wonderful.
fans of Heartstopper over here.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I thought they did
It's
a really good job taking the comic and like adapting it into a show. I thought
hmm
they picked really good actors as well. I just thought they did a
yeah.
great job. I was really impressed. Like I wasn't sure, because when I saw the trailer, I was like, "Oh, let's see how this goes." And I was like, "No, no, they did a great job. They really did."
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. It's great. So would you like to see like a far off adaptation for Netflix sometime?
I would love that, but like I don't have like any idea of who I'd want to act in it. I just kind of
Mm.
see how it went. I
Yeah.
don't know if I don't know if it would make a better like animation, or if it would make, honestly, I'd be happy with
Yeah,
either.
that's a good point. Like I don't know. I don't know how it would be if it was live action. But either way I would watch it. But
Yeah.
yeah. So you don't have like any dream cast for Far Off or anything of like an actor or someone who
No,
you'd
but
want to play Fen or Toby.
I think it's just because I just have like a hard time taking my characters and kind of like comparing them to an actor, because I just have them in
Hmm.
my head as in a certain way. But if
Yeah.
other people have suggestions,
Hey.
I'd love to hear them.
Chris Evans is Fen. No, I
Oh
don't
my God.
know. Yeah, but okay. All right. Well,
I
I hope
think Chris Evans could pull it off. He's
he
pretty
could
dynamic when he tries.
he
When
could
I've
totally
seen
do
him in
it.
comedies, and I've seen him as Captain America. He's got the bod. He's got,
He's very versatile. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, I did want to ask, so what is your favorite piece of art that you have created? So this could
me.
be like, yeah, this could be like a panel in the comic or a piece of art separate from comics that you made. Like, have you made anything that you really were like, wow, that's pretty cool. I like that a lot.
I mean, can it be recent?
Yeah. No,
I really like
it could
the,
be 5 minutes ago.
yeah, I really like the Halloween costumes that I did this year for Fen and Toby. They're like an angel and a demon. I know, I was like, good omens.
I
But
was gonna say, is there any connection there?
I mean, like I mean a little bit, but I was excited to do it, and I thought it turned out really nice. I
Yeah.
guess like every piece I do, I kind of end up liking it more than my last one, just because I feel like it's like improving my art over time.
Mm.
So that's kind of what ends up happening. My last piece is my favorite piece.
I think that's a good way to be because,
Yeah,
yeah.
I just keep trying to beat myself. I'm
Yeah,
like,
well,
let's see if I can do better than last time.
yeah, better to compete against yourself than other people probably. So,
Yeah, totally.
okay. Well then, so what do you have any future plans? Like, ideas for things you want to do in the future, or like things you want to achieve, or comics you want to make, or I don't know.
I do have some other comic ideas. Like I'm planning
Hmm.
on opening up a Patreon just to like it'd be nice to be able to do this like f more full time than
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
have been. So like I may end up opening up Patreon next year and I really want to do another comic. I would love to do either a fantasy comic. It'd be if all of them are going to be romance just because
Hmm.
that's just what speaks to me.
Works for me.
But but they'd be probably a fantasy comic or a robot human comic, kind of like
Mm,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like a robot human comic. I have another one with a wizard and a and like a prince.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, so those are the two big ones. And I had another one with superheroes.
All
There's
right. Wow.
three ideas that are like jumbling around in my head, and I don't know which one I'm gonna pick.
All, all of those.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like them all, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to like decide like which direction
Mm.
to go if I do
But
make a
just like
second one.
put them all into one comic. So you have the superhero and the wizard and the prince and the robot. They're all together in the same comic.
Yeah, they're
That
just walking around different universes.
Yeah, totally makes sense. That might be all my questions. Oh my God.
All of
Okay.
them.
I had one more. I had one more. So
Okay,
this one you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but are there any teasers you can give us about the future of Far Off?
teasers.
Yeah, like so
Oh,
a hint or like a like, oh well, wait until this happens or something like
oh,
that.
they're actually aliens. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God, I knew it. No.
Teasers. Let me think. Oh, I should say like it's I like a little bit. I like lots of fluff
Mm-hmm.
and a little bit of angst, and I like happy things. So if you put
Mm,
all those together, kind of what you have to look forward to. So like it's not going to be all. It's going to be a little rocky sometimes, but I promise that it's going somewhere that you'll like.
that's perfect. Okay, that
Yeah,
sounds good.
enjoy the ride.
We're yes, we will. Okay, so is there anything that you want to say or anything you want to tell the people?
Uh,
The
I
letters.
if anybody else ever wants to make a comic, I guess just do
Mm,
it. It's really improved my life. I
right?
really just for the better. I've really enjoyed it. I know that and I want to say too that like when you start, it can be like slow going. Like it's a very
Hmm.
like slow. Do it because you want to do it, not because you want to gain like a following or something. Because I'm gonna be honest, when I first started, it felt like just me.
Mm,
It
I
was
know that
me.
feeling.
Yeah, it was me and me. That's
Hmm.
who it was. And I was my own cheerleader. And you just kind of have to do it for the love of it, but also just keep going. And I promise that people will find you. If you love it, other people will love it. And
Hmm.
just keep pushing at it. You can do it. Make it.
Mm,
Make it. I'm
yeah,
telling you, do it.
do it.
Do the thing you want to do. You won't regret it, I promise. I'm glad that I took the jump and I did it because it is like filled that hole that I had for so long of
Hmm.
wanting like creatively. And so if anybody
Nice.
else is feeling that, I think that that's what you should do.
All right, you heard it here, folks. This is the advice for the ages that we
Yeah.
have from Lennon Rook. All right, awesome. Yeah, well, I think that's about it.
Cool.
Unless there's anything else that you want to talk about or say.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And what's your favorite piece of queer media?
Oh my God. Um, no, so that's a hard question because I read a lot and I've
Ooh, yes. Tell me.
yeah, like I recently
Any
did it.
recommendations?
Oh God. So I recently did a video where I talked about 40 different queer YA books
Oh my
that I had
God,
read
40
within a month. So just to give you an
a
idea.
month?
So they are
Oh my
some of
God, you're killing me. I can only
yeah.
read 10 maybe
No.
in a
Some of
month.
them start to blur together after a while as a result. But like, yeah, obviously, Heartstopper, big fan.
Yeah.
Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas is a great one.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to write
About
that one down.
it's very good. It's about a trans guy who is well, but it's very good. Like it has like fantasy and paranormal elements and
I
lots of
love all those things.
Mexican culture in it, and it's very cool. So that's a good one. Really anything on my bookshelf is good. So like,
Ooh.
but yeah, lots of good queer stories that I have read as of late. So
All right, I'm gonna have to check out your videos just to get some
mm,
recs.
If you like, yeah, there's a whole playlist of queer book recs. So
Okay, okay. Do you have like a favorite though of all of them?
ah,
If you had to pick.
oh, don't make me pick them, my children. Um, oh, hard question. Let me think about. Let me look at my books. Hang on. I like them all.
I know it's
They,
hard, right?
yeah, probably. I mean, I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but I would probably rank Cemetery's Boys at the top just
Mm,
because it's like it was one of the first things that I read where I saw myself kind of represented in a really cool way. And it's just a good story with a great romance at the heart of it. So um
that's like my favorite thing.
yeah. So that's yeah. Like I it's yeah. I'm getting all tongue tied now trying to talk about my books. But yeah, like there's lots of books that I like a lot, but yeah, I would probably put that one at the top just because of those
Very
sentimental.
cool. I'm gonna have to make room for it to read it.
If you find the time, I hope you read it and enjoy it.
I shall. Thank you very much.
Sure thing. All right. And oh, I've just been informed your meeting will end in 10 minutes. Oh my God. Unless I upgrade and pay money. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, but thank you so much for being willing to talk to me and saying many cool things that I hope people have enjoyed
Yeah,
listening to.
of course. It was super fun. I hope you enjoy the comic.
I definitely will, and I'm very much looking forward to more. And I will just suffer through those 2 weeks of your break. But
I'm sorry.
no, honestly, like Alice Oseman, who does Heartstopper, has been on hiatus for like half a year, and it's going to be a lot longer. So the two
I
weeks.
feel for her. She has to deal with a lot of stuff because she's doing the television show and the comic,
Mhm.
and she's probably writing other things. So she's probably being pulled like eight directions, and she's probably tired.
100%. Like I don't know how she does all the things that she does and so well as well. So
Yeah. Nope. I'd
mad
need a break
respect for
too. I
Alice.
get it.
Yes. Okay. So hopefully you will not hit that point, but also it's good because she's busy because she's successful, but still.
Exactly. Yep.
All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up before Zoom cruelly cuts us off. But again, thank you so much for talking to me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. It was so much fun. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, usually at this point when I'm talking to someone, I would say talk to you later, but I guess I'll see you on Twitter or you know,
I will talk to you on Twitter.
sounds good. I will talk to you on Twitter.
Bye.
All right, bye.